here we go with something else from China. And for once, this may be a SNES looking device, but it's not a Famicom clone, which they normally are. This actually is a Super Nintendo. Oh yeah, and a mini one at that, with some hilarious English on the box. But the most important thing to notice is that it has HDMI out and it accepts micro SD cards. Oh yes. It says it's got 12 plus built in. Well, that is true. It does have built-in games. Built-in, not repeated, and classic endurance 32-bit games. Well, that's a lie, isn't it? Because the Super Nintendo is 16-bit. But the box proudly proclaims that this is a 32-bit OS system. Alright, whatever. Okay, so let's take a look around the box. Not a lot to see really, it's the same on both sides. On this side we have some information there for you to take a look at, and some text on there. Nothing so special. Okay, so what do you get in the box? Well, of course, we get the unit itself, and here it is. It's not a bad little device. It's pretty solidly built. The cartridge door doesn't open. Got a power switch there, a reset that actually pushes down instead of up. We've got the two normal 9-pin joystick connectors on the front and a little power LED. Around the back we have got the HDMI out, the micro USB input which is used to power it, you can't transfer any data, and the micro SD card slot. Okay, now of course we get an instruction manual with it, and it's one of those classic instruction manuals which is printed on really nasty paper, and it's known as a MANUI. Oh yes, the classic MANUI instruction manual is back. And look at the state of it. This is brand new. This is what it looked like in the box. Yeah, that's a pretty sad state. Okay, and we do get two controllers with it, as you can see right here. Now these controllers are pretty well made. They're quite solid. The D-pad on them is nice. In fact, the D-pad feels, apart from being able to push the whole thing down, it feels pretty good, and I have used them. They are not bad at all. And they do work on a Sega Mega Drive and the Sega Master System too. Eleanor triggers there, pivoted on the corners like they should be. So you can't push them down on the corners, they're pivoted. And the actual buttons are fairly nice. Kind of a weird button situation here for the SNES pad. It's actually A, B, C and X. Yeah, weird. But you get two of those. And as I said, they're fairly nice pads. Alright, you also get a power brick with it. Now this power brick is rated at 5 volts. What is it? I can't remember what it is now. Output 5 volts at 500 milliamps. And the machine itself is also rated 500 milliamps at 5 volts. But I found out using such a power adapter as this actually didn't work very well with the machine. It kept resetting. So I found it to be much better to use a 5 volt 1 amp power adapter. Basically anything that plugs into a smartphone will power this perfectly well, and it will not reset. It kept resetting with this power pack, so that's no good whatsoever. Okay, so let's take a look at the game cartridge that came with this. The game cartridge is really funny. Let me just get it. Alright, here is the game cartridge. Yes, it's a micro SD card, and they do proclaim that this is a game cartridge. Let me just open it up. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera. Let me just zoom that in and see if we can focus on it. Can you see that? It actually says game card on the micro SD card. That's quite amazing. Now, this is not just normal ROM stored on here. In fact, when you put it into the PC, this is what it looks like. Now, as you can see, it actually does save the backup data, from save games onto the micro SD card. And all the ROMs are in a weird format. They're not typical Super Nintendo ROMs. So you can't really put your own SD card into this machine and load ROMs onto it. You have to use the games that are on here. Talking of which, the selection of games on here is actually quite nice. It's not the typical selection of games which you get on these type of machines. Now, what I'd like to do is connect this up to the TV capture card and show you the actual quality of it running, direct. But unfortunately, like all these Chinese devices that use HDMI out, the sound skips like buggery. Take a look. Yeah, so as you can see, that is not ideal. So we're going to have to do the old getaway and point the camera at the TV screen. Alright, let's take a look at this thing in action. How good is it? Okay, so let's switch on the machine. And as you can see straight away, we get this lovely menu, which is quite pleasant to look at. Also has a reasonable tune playing in the background. And yes, we do get 12 games built in. And they are pretty good games. In fact, there's only one stinker on here, and that is Acrobat Mission. So quite a nice selection. But one thing that does confuse me is it has Snow Brothers on there. And as far as I'm aware, Snow Brothers was never released on the Super Famicom or Super Nintendo. So I'm guessing that's a Mega Drive game? Alright, well, let's take a look at how good the emulation is on this thing. Let's do a bit of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So pressing start on the controller goes straight into the game. They load up very quickly. And I do apologise about, that. I have the lights off, the curtains closed, but it's a bright sunny day today, so unfortunately I can't get rid of that reflection. Now, as far as pitch quality goes, it is a little soft. Now, you probably can't see that on the camera due to the white balance blowing everything out, but for an HDMI image, that is extremely soft. It's not that good. But so far, the emulation seems okay, doesn't it? Maybe not on that glass breaking sound effect. Okay, straight away you can hear that the sound effects are messed up. But the music seems okay, so that's kind of weird. Now this game is well renowned for slowing down like buggery, but it doesn't seem to be slowing down much on this system. In fact, the real game would have slowed down by now, but this one doesn't seem to be slowing down. Oh, there we go. We've got some slowdown. Okay, to reset the game, you just press start and select on the controller, or press reset on the actual console. And it goes straight back into the menu system. Okay, let's try Ghost Chaser. Now that's a game known for having quite unusual sound. Let's see how this machine copes with it. Oh, that is not smooth. That is very jerky. The color is completely wrong. It's got some weird yellow hue to it. That's definitely not right. That looks terrible. The music seems okay though. But it is running a tad slow. Okay, let's try another game. Oh, that did not sound good then, did it? Oops, wrong button. The sound seems out of sync. Watch when I punch them. It seems a little bit off. But the speed is good. I got to say, this is actually quite an impressive game for Super Nintendo. Big sprites, moves quickly, and there's more than, 3 people on screen. There's 4 including yourself. I'm curious to know what the Snow Brothers is. I'm sure that's going to be a Mega Drive version. That is the Mega Drive. Yeah, it sounds just like a Mega Drive. See how the game actually runs. Oops. Yeah, it seems to run just as you'd expect. Interesting. Okay, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to put some Mega Drive games onto a micro SD card and see if it'll load them up. But before we do that, let's take a look at the games on the micro SD card that came with the machine. Okay, so we got the same background music, but we've got 100 games on it this time. And as you can see, there are some good titles. Straight away we got Captain Commando, Super Mario World, Poppin' Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventures. Now that is a very unusual addition. Super Mario, All-Stars, Knights of the Round, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2 and 3, Magic Sword. Some crappy boxing game. Now Super Ghouls and Ghosts again. Alright, again the sound didn't sound too good there on the Konami logo. There seems to be something wrong with the audio emulation on this device. Yeah. Some aspects of it sound perfectly fine. And there's some aspects of it sound awful. It seems to be like some sort of fault on one of the sound channels. The speed here on Sunset Riders seems to be just fine. So far this one sounds perfectly fine. Uh-oh! This game doesn't work. There's no road. Alright, great. Top Gear in the dark. But the music sounds okay. Alright, that's unplayable. Let's check out a different game. Oop! There's definitely a lag on the audio. Music seems okay. Yeah, the sound channel that deals with voices and certain sound effects seems to be the one that's not working. But speed for this game seems to be fine. Sound effects were too loud. Yeah, the audio is just messed up, unbelievably. Okay, this is interesting. I've just put in a micro SD card with games for various systems. The same micro SD card I use for testing on all these clone systems. And it's actually come up with a new menu. So I guess you can put any micro SD card full of ROMs into this thing. Okay, yeah. It's listing all the ROMs. Okay, Sega Master System. Will it play them? No. No one plays Zips. Won't play Neo Geo. Won't play PC Engine. Super Famicom. Will it play those? Maybe it will. Yes, it does. Okay. Contrary to what I said before, this looks like it will play standard Super Nintendo ROMs. They don't have to be in the special format. Yeah, look at that. Game Boy won't play, Game Gear won't play, Game Gear, yeah, won't play. Okay, this Battlemania, the beta version, is in bin format. And it's playing it. Now, I used the beta version of Battlemania because it has some issues which, let's see. Yeah, it's not working. See, the beta version only really runs perfectly on real hardware, so it's a good test of emulation. Yeah, and as you can see, it's not working properly there. It's definitely not working properly. But the audio seems fine, unlike Super Nintendo emulation. Okay, how about playability? Oh, I missed my speed up. Bugger. Seems pretty smooth. As I say that, I just noticed a little bit of juddering. Sounds okay. Bit of screen tearing there. Can you see that going up the screen? Don't know if you noticed that. Let's see if it will play the normal version of Star Fox. Wow. It kind of plays it. Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly struggling, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of just frozen there. Yeah, okay, I don't think we can play Star Fox on this thing. It's just died. Oh well, that was interesting anyway. Okay, let's see if we can play anything else. Mega Drive Virtua Racing. It'd be funny if it plays this, but it wouldn't play Star Fox. Ah, no. It's not even going to start this. Oh, okay. Never mind. So that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? We could see that it ran Mega Drive games really, really well. Well, not really, really well, but it ran them pretty well. Better than Super Nintendo games, which this thing is actually meant to be designed as, you know, playing. It's meant to be a Super Nintendo game player. Yeah. Now, I wonder what's on the inside of this. Now, it's probably just going to be a little generic board. But let's take a look. I'm pretty sure the screws are going to be underneath these rubber feet. So let's prise these off. Yep, there's the screw. Alright, let's get this thing open. Okay, screws are out. Let's open up this little device. And yep, there you have it. A very basic looking device on the inside. So we've got our controller ports there, bit of hot glue all over the place, yeah. Ooh, what's this here? But that's the reset button, isn't it? That's your reset switch. There's your power switch here. And this is where all the action takes place. Now let's take a look at that chip there. Yep, it's got a sticker over the chip, so... Oh, actually, no, it hasn't. It seems that they have blasted the data off, or the information off that chip. There's a little white mark up here, but the rest of it is just pure... Oh, here we go. You can actually scrape away at that. Maybe not. Alright, well, that's probably our system on a chip. We've got a crystal there, some little capacitors or whatever. Yeah, maybe that's the amp. Oh, God knows. I haven't got a clue. It's a place for something else there. Alright, well, anyway, that is it. Now, what I was expecting to find in here was some sort of composite video to HDMI converter board, but there doesn't seem to be anything like that in here. The old systems did have that. This is all integrated into one little system. So yeah, let's just take a look at the bottom of this, see what's on the bottom. Alright, probably nothing. Yep, not a sausage. But we can see that this is a fairly recent device. It's dated, don't know if you can see that on there, 2018, September the 18th. And the code number is M-568V3.1. Yeah, alright, well, that's that. Interesting. So, would I recommend buying this machine? Well, yeah, to be honest, not really, no. I mean, it's a nice little device and all that, but it doesn't really emulate Super Nintendo very well. I mean, some games run fine, some games run a little bit slow. What is funny is that it actually runs Mega Drive games better, even though it's made to be a Super Nintendo emulation machine. Yeah, so... But it does have the added bonus of being able to play normal formatted ROMs, which didn't seem to be the case at the beginning. So that is a bonus. But yeah, for the $30 odd that this is currently going for, yeah, it's a tough sale, isn't it? I mean, the HDMI video isn't even that clear. It's kind of, you know, fuzzy. It's a bit too smooth. But yeah, I mean, if you want something just to mess about with, then maybe this might be worth buying. I know you could just take out this board and do whatever you want with it. Throw in a Raspberry Pi into here. You do get the two controllers, which are fairly, you know, robust. They're pretty good controllers. So you could use them on other systems, I guess. But yeah, overall, yeah, maybe not the best of systems out there, but an interesting one nonetheless. Okay, well, until next time, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. I'll see you next time. Gambada Government 3 and number 2, I believe. Contra Street Fighter Final Fantasy 3. As I said, it does save your data, as we saw just a moment ago. Kirby's Dream Land, Rockman X and Rockman X3, F-Zero. So some good titles on here. So I'll just quickly go through them. Yeah, lovely stuff. Yeah, Metal Warriors, that's another good one. Ultraman, Draw Mac 1 and 2, Power Rangers, quite a few Mario games there. Castlevania Vampire's Kiss, nice. Homebrew Donkey Kong Classic. Demon's Crest there. Yeah. Pocky and Rocky 2, or Kiki Kai 2. Sunset Riders. Jerry Boy, Zool. Alright, Are They Life For? That's not bad. Animaniacs, Crappy Hockey. Arc of Spirits, which was actually unreleased on the Super Nintendo. Alright, so as you can see, there are a good collection of games there on the micro SD card. Quite interesting.